I saw somebody tweet that they said that Diddy had something to do with OJ's death so that we would stop talking about him. Like Diddy set up OJ, same way he set up Tupac.
I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, it's the Uncensored Podcast. It's the Strawberry and Lizette Mexican Ginger Podcast, not intended for younger audiences. The best. See, there's a difference in our sense of humor, myself and my fiance. I have like a darker sense of humor. I have a thicker skin. I think busting balls is fun. It's funny. That's kind of how
Gross.
It's kind of how I grew up. And she goes, "Oh, you people from the Bay Area, like you make fun of each other." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's like it's a term of endearment. Like, hey, you bust balls. Like you give each other a hard time. It's because you like the person."
I feel like Mexicans are the same way though. But you know what? Her family grew up like loving each other.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe because she's from a healthy house.
We didn't, yeah.
So that's why when all the OJ Simpson social media reactions came out, I found so many of them funny. Just because the internet is never serious.
They were hilarious.
I know.
The first thing that I thought...
Respectfully, of course, to the people that died in the story. And I know that OJ was a father, so he has kids that miss him and family that miss him, in respect to the Simpson family and the Goldman family. Yes. However, social media was hilarious. Go ahead.
There was so much, like, the internet is a very unserious place, and it doesn't matter what kind of trauma, tragedy unfolds.
Yeah.
There will always be that one person, the first thing they do is make a meme. Yeah. And the first thing they're going to do is crack jokes about the situation. And the first thing they're going to do is like, very, very unserious. The first thing I thought of was, oh my God, somebody check on Kris Jenner and Khloe Kardashian. I'm not going to lie. And I thought about like, I didn't want to like post anything. Yeah. Obviously. But that was the first thing I thought, because we all know the rumor, right?
That OJ
is Khloe's dad.
Yeah. I can get into some of the facts about that which support the rumor. I can get into that later. But go ahead.
Really?
Yeah.
So there actually is, it's so hard. I haven't decided who I think her dad is. OJ or the hairdresser.
Who is also big and buff and looks like Khloe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's what gets me are the photos of their children that really is just like, oh, like them and Khloe like literally look like they could be siblings.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like the resemblance and the features. And I didn't even know about the hairdresser up until recently, maybe like a few years ago.
Yeah.
And once I saw that, and then the picture of the hairdresser's kids and how much they looked like Khloe, it's just like, dang, there's a whole other person in the mix now that I also am highly, highly considering to be Khloe's dad. Yeah. It's crazy.
I like this tweet. It said, "I'm sure people on this app will be very, very responsible with the news that OJ Simpson has died." Somebody posted this. It said, "R.I.P. Juice, the reaction from the OJ Simpson verdict. Still one of the wildest things I've seen." And it shows there's watch parties. There was literal watch parties for the OJ Simpson trial verdict. And these videos are showing like all the reactions.
But this was what, in like 92, 93, 94, something like that? 91?
I think 95-ish. And somewhere around there. But it would show literal watch parties. And the way the news did it, when the verdict came out, white people's faces like, oh, he got away with it. Oh, that's a travesty. And you can hear the African-American watch party people celebrating. And it would just cut from different watch party to different watch party.
You don't have to answer this if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Why do you call white people and black people African-American instead of black?
I go back and forth with it. You know what? Actually, I know. You know why? Because of Mace. Mace.
You know what Okay, finish what you're saying, and then let me tell you what I heard.
Got it. Okay. Let me read some reactions
We're going
first.
so many different directions right now.
Okay, so somebody reposted the TMZ breaking news, and they said, "R.I.P. OJ Simpson. I'm glad he no longer has to live in fear." Because it was an old TMZ post that said, "OJ Simpson won't go to L.A. because I might run into the real killer." So I said, I'm glad he no longer has to live in fear. I probably should have read that the other way. This one is pretty true. OJ Simpson was an abusive liar who abandoned his community long before he killed 2 people in cold blood. His acquittal for murder was the correct and necessary result of a racist criminal legal system, but he's still a monster, not a martyr. OJ Simpson is dead. Do not make him a hero or a martyr. So that's 1. I'm sick. AF. OJ Simpson died without confessing he killed that lady. Now we'll never know. Crying face. So Caitlyn Jenner said good riddance. Obviously, we know about that one. Okay. You were going to ask me, Mace. So when I was in Phoenix, Mace.
The rapper Mace.
Yeah. He opened a church. He was Pastor Mace, and he would come into the radio show, and we would talk. I forget what we were talking about. We said something when we were on the air, and we were saying something. And I said, like, yeah, like the black community, the black people or something. I just, not derogatory.
I think I remember you telling me the story.
African American? And I said, yes, absolutely. That's why sometimes.
That's one of those things to me where, like, I know it's not necessarily racist to call black people. Right. But sometimes it just feels like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like, I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah.
Are they going to take it that way?
But it doesn't feel racist to call white people.
Yeah. Well.
But sometimes, is it?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think white people is racist, and I don't think black people is racist, but I don't know what it is that makes me feel like sometimes I should refer to them as African American. Like I don't know. It just, with everything that goes on these days, you have to like really be very careful and tiptoe around words that you use. And so, but I just noticed that in your sentence, you said white people and then you said African American. And I'm like, maybe he didn't even notice that he did that. But anyways, you want to hear what I heard?
Yeah.
So.
Is it OJ related or no?
It's Mace related.
Okay.
I heard that, so with this whole Diddy thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever if you fell down any of like the conspiracy rabbit holes and stuff. Did you see the one talking about how, obviously Diddy had his artists and everybody under a super tight contract. Everybody had to do whatever he said.
Yeah.
Or, they would, I don't know, be threatened, blackmailed, blackballed from the industry, whatever the case.
African American bald. Sorry.
Blackballed.
Go ahead.
So I saw a conspiracy that Mace was also like under Diddy's grip, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, with all the shit that he was doing and making other people get involved. And that Mace didn't want to do it anymore. But because he was under contract and there was like, everything was just so tight and put together. But there was a loophole that you could, excuse me, you could leave for religious reasons.
Okay, that's why he became a pastor.
And that's why he left and became a pastor.
His story was that after seeing what happened with Tupac and Biggie, he's like, yo, this hip hop stuff ain't for me. Like, it's too violent, it's too dangerous now. Like,
which still matches.
Yeah, he's like, I'm joining the church. I'm religious now, or not, maybe not now.
And somebody
but like, I'm diving in.
We would have to dissect his Welcome Back lyrics, but somebody even made a comment like, yeah, that's why his song Welcome Back, there's so much more meaning behind that because of why he left.
I didn't know that was in his
Makes
contract.
you think.
Another thing, going back to why social media is never serious. Khloe Kardashian's social media was flooded with condolences. And so I'm like, so I heard that and I'm like, really? How bad can it be flooded? So I pulled up her Instagram today and like her latest one, she dyed her hair red. She has her glam team. So she's like, Khloe Kardashian's a redhead now. And her caption is Big Red and Fabletics. So the comments go, hair is giving. Keep this hair color. Wow, red really suits you. Red hair won't cover up that you're OJ's baby.
Facts.
The next one that Khloe posted, it's her like in the ocean in a bikini or whatever. And then somebody said, who else came here to read the comments? And I'm like, oh, shoot, I did.
I love when people do that.
And then so the next comment under that was like, hey, bullying someone isn't cute. The third comment was, my condolences. Next one was, sorry for the loss of your real father. Next one was, your real daddy OJ died. Sorry.
You know what I was thinking about? How much does it suck for Khloe Kardashian that
she gets it the
lost
worst.
3 dads?
Oh.
But
Wait, hold on. So Robert Kardashian.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? And then you're talking about Jenner, Bruce Jenner.
Uh-huh.
And then are you talking about like
Mm-hmm.
OJ? This one said, "Hey, I came as soon as I heard. I know it must be hard losing a father."
But they could easily put this to rest by just doing a DNA test, and who knows? Maybe they have done it because it's no secret that she's the black sheep of her siblings.
Sure.
Sure. They all look the same and she doesn't.
Yeah.
These rumors, they have talked about these rumors and they're just like, nah, I don't need to take a test. I know Bruce is my dad and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
She's our sister. We have the same, or not Bruce, Robert is my dad, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, this can all easily be put to rest if y'all just did a DNA test.
But would you believe it? With anything that comes out of the Kardashian... Would you believe it if they go, hey, look, we took a DNA test and it's not OJ? Well, actually, who can they compare it to now? They can't compare it to OJ. They can't compare it to Rob Kardashian.
What they would have to do probably is like Chris, what's her face, Khloe, and one of the siblings would all probably have to do like a DNA test. And I
you
think
can see if your father's DNA is different.
Yeah, I think it would come up if...
Yeah, you're right. If they had different fathers,
if they were half siblings or something.
Yeah.
But I feel like, do you think they are not going out of their way to like shut it down or prove a point or anything because this keeps them like people talking?
I think with them,
or do you think she just genuinely doesn't want to know?
That's maybe true.
It had to have been in the back of her mind at some point, in the back of her siblings' mind, and maybe she's just like, there is a high chance that he's not my dad, but he's the one that raised me, so he's my dad no matter what. Case, no paper is gonna, you know what I mean?
I read a bunch of books about OJ, and one of them was that, because he was the biggest. You and I were just talking off air.
Pause.
There's nobody alive now that could equate to the celebrity that OJ Simpson was prior to the murders. There's nobody around now. Like, you can name the biggest celebrity. Oh, Taylor Swift, maybe Taylor Swift. Beyonce, maybe, but nobody compared to how celebrity OJ Simpson was, and it was the height of the 80s and then the 90s, and according to these books, they were orgies. They were throwing orgies. He was living it up in the mansions in LA.
Drake?
Well, hold on. And so the rumor was that OJ would just have all these chicks over, all these dudes over. Him and Nicole Brown were just and they were friends with Kris Jenner and Robert Kardashian. They were friends, and so the rumors were they were very friendly couples, and maybe there was some interchanging, and he would hang out with her. So they put all the pieces out there. They laid it all out there to kind of say hey, there may have been some swinging involved with OJ and Nicole and Robert and Chris, among other people. And so, I could see that happening, that here comes baby Khloe. I could absolutely see that happening. And you want to know another thing? If you see all this merchandise that's now flying off the shelves, all this OJ Simpson memorabilia, if you look at a lot of the jerseys that are being sold, when he was in jail, the way he made money for, to pay all the lawyers, the Dream Team, he would sell his autograph. He was selling his autograph like crazy. But his lawyers would have to bring stuff in for him to sell, photos or whatever. So instead of bringing a bunch of jerseys in to prison for him to sign, they would bring in a number. He would sign the number, and then they would go and sew it back onto the jersey. So a lot of so keep an eye out when you're seeing all this memorabilia that's trending now.
If the number is signed, then he signed it in jail.
It could be, but that's what he would do. It would be a lot easier. He could get a lot more signatures done if they just brought in numbers. Then go back and sew them together. But anyway,
I went really smart.
I went in on one of the books I read was from OJ's one of his former agents. His a talent agent or whatever, Mike something or other. I think I read 2 or 3 books back to back on OJ. I deep dived into it. That day when the chase happened. Were you even alive when the Bronco chase happened?
Well, that's why I was asking what year it was. I may have only been a few years old.
I think it was 93.
Yeah, a couple years old.
It's 93. So 2 things happened that day. Well, obviously more than that. But the sales of white Ford Broncos skyrocketed the next few years. Sales skyrocketed.
I bet.
More than 95 million viewers tuned in to watch that police chase. 95 million.
Which is a lot because can you imagine how much bigger this would have been had there been social media?
Yeah.
Like, this is just like low-key
regular TV,
word of mouth, and having to people who watch the news channel, and then like, was there even cell phones back then? Yeah. Calling each other.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. It's just, it was on such a big, like a bigger
platform?
Not platform, because it's not a bigger platform, but it was just it like went TV viral.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to call it.
There was something on that they actually cut away from, something major on. It was like a World Series game or a presidential debate. There was something, I don't know the dates. There was something that happened that for a while they kind of did like a split screen, like in the lower corner, it was the not trial, but the freaking car chase. And then they go, you know what? We just got to cut. Like, we're just going to preempt whatever it was, a debate or a World Series game or something. 95 million people watched it. It was the busiest day Domino's Pizza ever had because nobody wanted to leave. Nobody wanted, he's going to get pulled over at any time. They didn't want to cook. They didn't want to go to restaurants. So it was the busiest day Domino's Pizza ever had. And that record stood for years and years and years in that company. Like, we've never had a busier day than the OJ day. I think that's going to be record's been eclipsed.
That's going to be a new random fun fact. For me.
Oh yeah,
like random fun facts.
It's the busiest day Domino's ever had.
The day of the OJ car chase was the busiest day Domino's ever had on record to date.
And there's people now. There's a lot of people now who only know OJ from the trial, from the murders, from the whatever. But again,
I only know him from that.
He was like the Tom Brady, LeBron James, Travis Kelce of football. Like he was incredible. And on top of that, he was also a movie star. He did TV commercials and everything like that. He was the biggest. I mean, honestly, if you heard like, hey, Taylor Swift's, like, hey, Travis Kelce died. Oh, that's weird. Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Oh, too bad. And they go, wait a minute. Police think Taylor Swift did it. And now she's on a car chase. Like, I think that may be equivalent, but I don't even think Taylor Swift is as popular now as OJ was when that happened.
What about the Currys?
No. Maybe a Kardashian. It might have to be a Kardashian, but they're still divisive.
I think the Currys still is a good one, although...
Like Aisha Curry's dead, Steph Curry's on the run.
Yeah, and only because they are such like the picture perfect
America's couple
family, right?
Yeah,
they're like America's favorite couple.
But Steph isn't
like zero scandals. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Steph's not in movies. He's not doing. He's doing commercials, but like, I think you know what. Also, I think with social media, I think social media diluted celebrity because now anybody can be a celebrity on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Anybody, like everybody is a celebrity now. Back then, celebrities were like A-list celebrities. Yeah. And OJ was around when it was A-list or nothing.
It's because we see them so much.
Yeah.
We see them so much now that it's like we're used to seeing them. We see their lives and we see them in their homes. We see them when they're out. Yeah, we just see so much of them that like, sure, if you were to see them in person, like, of course, it's going to be more exciting than seeing them on social media, but it's like it doesn't have that effect impact. that wow, that oh my god, like I only see you on TV and in music videos and you know what I mean. It normalized them a lot. Social media
does. I have one more thing about OJ unless you want to do something else. This guy says morbid facts about OJ Simpson.
I kind of want to keep talking about OJ.
Well, this is OJ. Okay, let me just play it. I'm gonna just be lazy and put my phone up to the microphone. Hold on.
Okay,
here we go.
about OJ Simpson. This 1994 photo shows OJ holding hands with his children at the funeral of their mother and his ex-wife, Nicole Simpson Brown. She was brutally stabbed to death, purportedly by OJ himself, even though he was famously acquitted in court a few months later. During the funeral, OJ reportedly spent a significant amount of time with Nicole's body and was even seen kissing her on the lips. OJ,
which is weird. First off, I don't want to touch a dead body. I've been to a couple funerals where there is an open casket.
You've never touched a dead body?
No, and people reach in there like
I've
hold
touched
the hands.
a dead body.
No, ugh, really?
Yeah, it's really scary.
Does it feel like, this is what I heard, and it actually turned one of my friends vegetarian. Does it feel like frozen chicken? Yeah, frozen meat. Because she said since then, I think she like held her grandma or mom's hand or something like that. And she goes, it felt like frozen chicken. Since then, I've been a vegetarian.
I think I've only touched dead bodies through their clothes because I'm too scared to like touch their skin. And I'm traumatized from when I had this cat who was a fucking slut and she kept getting pregnant. Yeah. She got pregnant so much that her litters just like stopped surviving.
Oh.
Right? So she was having less and less kittens. Yeah. And they were dying more and more and more. So it got to the point where I would like come home from work and I would have to like, the first thing I would do was check on them because there was like always another one was dead, right?
Oh.
So I would have to dispose of these kittens. And I would take a plastic bag and put my hand in it and then pick up the kitten with the plastic bag and just like do the little inside out thing.
Yeah.
But I just didn't like the feeling of picking up a kitten and it's like fucking stiff and like hard. I'd like that shit freaks me out. I do not like it. And that's what dead bodies feel like to me. If have you ever picked up a dead animal, dead dog
with a
cat,
shovel, never barehanded or with it? No, just shovel.
It feels like that, and I just didn't like the feeling of it because it just creeps me out. Like that's not normal. They're supposed to be soft and cuddly and warm, and then they don't feel that way. So I'm traumatized from that. Too traumatized to like touch a dead person skin to skin.
Gross.
I've only done it through their clothes. Pause.
A lot of people don't know that OJ Simpson was born and raised in San Francisco. So here we go. Back to morbid facts about OJ.
OJ's father was a well-known drag queen in San Francisco and died of AIDS in 1986. Soon after...
And again, I don't know if this is true. This is one guy's TikTok, but maybe. Here we go. Here's the book he wrote called If I Did It.
He wrote a book called If I Did It. It was a hypothetical description of the murders if he had actually committed them. And he knew he wouldn't be tried in court thanks to double jeopardy laws. The victims' families responded by suing and won all rights to the book, eventually changing the word if to appear really small on the cover. But in the nearly 30 years since Ron Goldman's family won a $33.5 million civil judgment against OJ for wrongful death, he had only paid the family about $500K.
He only paid them $500K out of the, what was it? $33.5 million that he owes.
Yeah.
What a slap in the fucking face.
And the amount of hoops that OJ had to jump through to protect his assets. That's one of the reasons he moved to Florida when he did. He also put a lot of stuff under somebody else's name. So he's like, I don't have any assets. Like it's under so-and-so's name or so-and-so's name. Like he hid his money legally to avoid paying them. That was another one of the books I read about OJ.
Crazy.
So crazy. So I heard, again, this is just what I heard, but it was from a reputable source, news source, that...
Like a blog or a person you know?
No, it was a person in radio. It was but a respected morning show.
Okay.
Not like us. But they...
Not like the joke we were.
They... So when OJ was dying, like his family, I think there was like 30 or 40 of them. There was a lot of people. They came to see him, right? You couldn't bring your cell phone to see OJ.
So you knew he was dying before the news came out?
Well, it was reported he had pancreatic cancer like a month ago.
But, oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. Okay.
It was a while.
I thought nobody knew.
Oh, no. It was a while. And so anyway, these morning show people, they're like, the family that came to say goodbye to him, say their goodbyes, whatever, they weren't allowed to have cell phones with them. They had to leave them outside. They also couldn't enter, like the room or whatever until they signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. So, the guys I was listening to, they theorized, well, yeah, look, he's got people in his family that maybe saw this as an opportunity to cash in. Hey, look, if I sneak a phone in, I get a photo of him on his deathbed, I can sell that to TMZ. Or like, hey, you know, whatever he said, like maybe this was the time to like do a confession. Like, hey, guess what? I did it, or my
That's
son
what I
did
thought.
it.
I'm like, what did he say on his deathbed?
I think the people who, I think his inner circle of family know. I think his son knows, because there's another theory that his son did it and OJ covered it up and he took the fall for him. And there's another theory, like just the son was with him and they kind of did it together. But so I heard again from this show that no cell phones and you had to sign an NDA or you couldn't come into the room. But like, this is your family, your flesh and blood. That kind of says a lot about who that man is. We're like, hey,
yeah,
I'm not going to talk to you on my deathbed unless you sign an NDA.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll send you the video. They ran down the story better than I did, but
I'm gonna do that.
What, do an NDA?
Yeah, everybody gonna think I got some deep ass shit.
I know.
This will be a quick closer for you.
Okay.
What's the word, like if you're a good person or not? There's like a fucking word.
Stand-up guy.
No.
Good person.
Anyways, here's a test to see if you're a piece of shit or not.
Okay, that works too. The POS test.
I saw this on TikTok, and like a morality test. Okay. I guess. I saw this on TikTok. I didn't think about even bringing this up until right now. Something you said sparked this story in my head. Okay. So this is hypothetical. Your son has been coming home from school for the past week, like bruised up, scratches, marks, and after a week, you and your partner are like talking to each other, like something's going on at school. Like maybe we should go talk to him, right? So you guys go talk to your son, and you're like, "Hey, what's going on?" And your son is like, "Oh, there's this kid that's been like beating me up every day, and he like steals my like lunch money, and he's just like giving me a hard time, you know." So you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna go talk to the principal on Monday." Okay. Next day, Saturday, you're cooking dinner, and or you're getting ready to cook dinner, whatever, that's not important. Your son is like, "Hey, can I go down to the market and like get some snacks?" You're like, "Yeah, sure." So your son leaves, goes down to the market. About 10 minutes later, comes running in through the door.
Yeah.
And he's like out of breath, he's panicked, and you're like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Your son tells you that he ran into his bully on the way to the store.
Yeah.
The bully started picking on him again, and your son decides to stand up for himself and pushes him back.
Hell yeah.
The bully trips, hit his head on the concrete, and didn't get back up. And your son got scared and ran home.
Yeah.
So you walk over to the market, walked out the same route, and by the time you get there, there's a crowd of people, there's cops around, and you ask someone like, "Hey, what happened? What's going on?" And pretending like you don't know anything.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, "Oh, like we just found this kid laying on the ground. There's like blood leaking out of his head. Like we think he's dead. We don't really know what happened. Like nobody saw anything." So you're like, "Oh man, that's too bad."
Yeah.
You turn around and walk back home. What do you do?
Woo! Well, my son, so
claims nobody saw anything.
Yeah.
It was an accident, ran home, and is scared.
He's a minor, so he's not going to prison. It wasn't first degree murder. I guess they could like second degree manslaughter or something like that. What's the word? Incidental? I'm trying to think this out here. Not telling his mom, that's for sure. I need to figure this out first before I bring her into this. Is the kid dead or we don't know yet?
Kid's dead.
Oh, the kid is dead.
Mm-hmm. Your son killed him.
I already had an idea. Like when you're like, "Oh, bully, I'm like, all right, cool. I already like had some answers in my head. Like, A, I'm going to teach him to fight. B, I'm going to tell him, A, if he puts his hands on you, you put your hands back on him. B, I'm not going to wait to go to the principal. I'm going to the bully's house. I'm talking to the parents. So I had this whole thing. I'm like, I know what I'm going to do. But you threw a little plot twist on me right here. I didn't know the son had some self-defense and like accidentally killed the guy. Manslaughtered him, allegedly.
No, he did it.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
He did it.
I wasn't there.
But he told you.
Oof. I need to teach my son the word hypothetical. So, Dad, hypothetically, if I did it, what would I do? How old is my son?
Let's say he's like 11, 12.
Oh, damn it. Because if he was like, who's 11, 12? How old's your son?
12.
Oh, they're not going to throw him in jail. He's too young to be like, hey, kids will be kids. I don't trust my kid to keep it a secret. Kids at 11 and 12 years old, they're going to crack. They're going to tell somebody.
Yeah, my son tells me everything.
Yeah, if I say, hey, just go to school Monday and act cool, act like nothing's bothering you, he won't be able to do it.
And then you can't not send your kid to school.
Yeah, he'll be like, I'm just scared, I'm quiet. And like, I didn't sleep last night. Why? Bad dreams. Like, no, you gotta keep it cool.
Yeah.
I don't think my son's going to keep it tight at 11, 12 years old.
Yeah. I tell you.
Hypothetically, what if somehow we put some bruises on my son's face or some scrapes on him?
I mean, he probably already has bruises.
Good, that helps. That helps with self-defense.
From the week prior.
Okay, we need some fresh ones, though. And I'm not going to hit my son, but what if I throw a basketball at his face real hard? Like, hey, you need a fresh bruise. You need a fresh bruise to be like, hey, cops, so-and-so hit me. I pushed him. He fell. I ran away because he said, like, he's going to kick my ass. He's going to kill me. So I pushed him and I ran away. That's what you do. You say, he's been beating me up for a while. He punched me. I pushed him back. He said, I'm going to kill you. And then so I pushed him and ran because you're not allowed to say, there's some class I took. You can't threaten somebody. You can't say, I'll kill you, because the law will take that as a intentional and purposeful statement. So you can't say, I'll kill you. There's something with that. So you kind of feed the kid the lines. You have to say that he said, I'll kill you. Then you pushed and you ran because he's beaten you up in the past. So you ran home for safety. So you have to paint this whole self-defense picture.
But if you don't trust your kid to like keep it together, I don't trust my kid.
I don't.
I feel like they're not going to be able to lie.
Oh, we got to practice. We have to practice that. I don't know. Would you just like move away, like to Antigua or somewhere, Venezuela?
Like that's what I was thinking, low key. I'm like, nope.
Bro, let's go to the beach.
Nobody saw. We gonna move.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing to no. I don't trust him not to say nothing to nobody.
Say nothing,
honestly, realistically, I think I would lawyer up.
Oh, absolutely, lawyer up.
I would lawyer up.
Yes.
And then get this resolved.
Yeah. And you have to go to the lawyer. Hey, hypothetically, what if this happened? Like, give me my options. And if the lawyer goes like, oh, well, we have to go tell the cops and be honest. Like, nah, I need another lawyer. Give me more options. Give me the non-extradition country, somewhere where I can go. They're not going to send me back. Give me also option B about talking to the cops. What would that be? And then give me C, like, don't say nothing. If nobody saw, there's no cell phone footage, no Ring doorbell camera.
But we don't know.
Well, this is what I would do on the way home from the market. I'm looking around.
Your kid who was in the middle of the situation and was panicked says he didn't see anybody, but there's always cameras. There's way too many doorbell cameras, street cameras, store cameras. Like I guarantee that is on film somewhere.
ATMs, yeah.
Satellite.
I'm standing there. The
fucking cop pigeons. Yeah. Like somebody saw.
I'm looking around. I'm like, all right, what security cameras are here? Lawyer up. I'm lawyering up. He's 11 years old. We'll probably end up going to the cops because the judge isn't going to be an asshole to a 12-year-old who got bullied, stood up for himself, and the kid, little manslaughter here. It's fine. It's fine. What's the worst he's going to give a 12-year-old?
We'll pay a fine and
yeah.
We'll pay a fine and we'll do some community service.
Rake some leaves, pick up garbage. I think we'll be all right.
I'll write you a 100-page essay that says why it's important to be nice to people. Do you like your life?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I hate bullies.
I saw one comment because this was on TikTok or Instagram. One comment was like, I'm still going to the principal Monday to complain about that kid.
Exactly. I hope he shows up to school today, and if he does, keep an eye on him. Oh, he didn't check in.
That's weird.
He did? That's weird.
Well, when he does show up tomorrow, he still hasn't been to school? That's weird.
That's weird. I'd be like, well, he's probably bullying other people, not just my son. Throw it
Somebody must have fought back, and he's too embarrassed to come to school with a black eye or a cracked open head. Oh. Gotta go.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you for streaming and checking out our YouTube page. It's the Strawberry and Lizette Mexican Ginger Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Strawberry and Lizette.
I'm at Lizette Love, LizetteLovee.
I am at Strawberry Radio. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Bye.